Okay, before the week gets away, I wanted to do another update video talking about some things that are going on with my other channel. And so far, that's actually been going a little bit better this last week um, on two fronts. One, I've got the uploads up, so I'm going to be trying to do two a week. I got it up to one a week and realized that was more than sustainable. And I'm going to be trying two a week right now because I still don't have a job. I've been applying for some things, but until I get one, I'm like, well, I can definitely bump up this upload amount. I've honestly got it to the point that if I was putting in an 8-hour workday on the YouTube channel, I'd easily be able to get a video done a day. And how I worked that out is I was sort of thinking about, if I was actually doing this, well, I kind of compared it to a real job. If I were working a real job, I would have deadlines. I wouldn't have time to focus on every part of the production. And I started just timing the different parts of the production, whether that be script writing, video editing, and audio editing. And I found that when you do that, you have to come up with a process. Because if your script is so long and you have a general topic, you have to say, when it reaches the 2.5 hour mark, I'm done with the script. But you can't just leave it hanging in the end. So, what that forces you to do is um, basically write a script, write it from start to finish, and even if not all the blanks are filled in, it's workable, basically. And then you go through and you beef up any sections you want to beef up. And if you have even more time after that, you can go in and put all the neat little details in there. And mainly just making sure there's a good narrative flow, and of course, that the research has all been done and everything I'm saying is factual. Though even that I've gotten a little bit looser about, just because I'll use the pinned comment section to basically correct anything that's wrong, that's said wrong in the videos. This is one of those areas where working with someone else is really helpful because I get to be a perfectionist, and I think I'm sort of neurotic. So, for example, there was this one video where we got it all the way to the final step, really. It was uploaded on YouTube and it was scheduled. And then I realized there was a mistake in the script right in the first line of the video. And I was thinking, oh, crap, not only am I going to have to re output this, but I'm going to have to go back out into my car, which is where I re record it, and set everything up just so I can re record this one line. Well, I talked to the guy I work with and I mentioned all this to him, like, I'm going to have to re record it. He's just like, no, you don't. He's like, just put a correction in the comment section. It's no biggie. And that's the kind of thing that it's really helpful to work with someone who, um, you know, shares your goals and has enough similarities to you, but also comes at things from a bit of a different perspective. And the guy I work with, he's a lot more. I think it looks at things more from just a functional point of view rather than me, where I'm lean a little bit more on the artsy and the perfectionist side of things. Anyways, yeah, so that's a way, both those things, just, using the comment section for the pinned comment for correction, working with someone else. All of those are just elements that have helped speed up the production, but like I've been saying with the past few updates, I've been trying to get a formula down, and I think it's not as good as I want it to be, but I've gotten a formula that's going to work for the next, I want to say, next 2 or 3 months worth of videos if I'm doing 2 videos a week. So, and now one of the issues is these videos are very easy to produce, and they're very formulaic. And I think there's potential for that because people like formulas. It's the reason so many. The way I see it is TV shows like Forensic Files or YouTube channels like Watch Mojo do so well is because they're just so formulaic. Every episode virtually hits all the same beats. But I think what we're doing right now, the series doesn't, the view potential isn't super high. So when I get far enough ahead with this current series of videos, and I'm in a comfortable place where I've got videos scheduled for the next basically month's worth, maybe a little bit less than that, but let's say a month's worth of videos. I want to start focusing on some of those bigger topics that aren't as easy to make, but I know people will like them, or at very least, they're a little bit more risky. I'm not 100% sure if people will like them better, but there's that potential that they could do really good and get 200,000 views or 500,000, something like that. In the current series I'm doing, while they're reliable and they always get a certain percentage of our audience watching, they're really not bringing in too many new viewers. So, it's not like they're breadwinning videos or anything. And yeah, I'm really happy with the channel on that front right now, because I finally got in a really good routine that I think is workable. And the other thing that's working out nice is one of our other videos has been getting a huge spike in views lately, which is, always nice, always brings in a bit more revenue. And that could just be coincidence. It could be, like, without getting into the specifics of the channel, the topic isn't on something going on in the news, but it's sort of adjacent to something, to something and a certain person and a certain name, and I'm sort of wondering if that's, driving traffic to our video. And then there's a third part where I wonder if, because we're uploading more often, is YouTube promoting our videos a little bit more. And the guy I work with thinks that's a possibility, because he knows the algorithm a little bit better than I do, or who knows the algorithm, but who knows it that well, but it's something he speculates about. So that's what's going on with the channel, and as I've been trying to be more strict about that, basically all this, all the more luxuries of video production, such as, do I have the book around here? Oh. Like studying this book. This is a really good book for writing and learning how to make better sentences and tell better narratives, speak to your audience. It's a really good book for that, but I'm not spending my work hours on this because this is a lot more of a luxury. Once again, thinking of it like a job. I wouldn't get paid to sit around and study this. So luckily the other day I took the day off, and I used a lot of that time to look at this book and look at my old scripts and just revise a lot of them, which that works out because it's something I enjoy doing in my free time too. I think it's a whole art. It's really a lost art, kind of like I was saying in my last video. I think as people are moving away from academia and conventional forms of education, I think that's has a lot of pros, but I think it also has a lot of cons. And I look at it as an opportunity to sort of break into the space as sort of being more well-spoken than a lot of the other content creators out there. Not in these videos. These videos are really off the cuff, but at least in the other channel I do and the scripts I write. That's something, I guess a little off topic, is something I've touched on before, is how I see a lot of people worry about what's going on in politics and with social issues and always getting in a hissy about them. And one of the things will be, well, people aren't as educated as they were before, and our institutions are falling apart. But I see that as an opportunity. That's if you can capitalize on the fact that your competition's going to be deficient in a lot of ways, and you're smart about it, you might be able to make that work really well. And like I said, I'm still curious about how that space is going to be filled in, with just, the internet moving more toward or culture in general moving more toward a Wild West, and sort of like the bifurcation of media, where you've got all these people in their own little corners and no one really interacts with anyone else. No one's really sharing information from other spaces. Kind of wondering how that's all going to pan out. And there's a lot of topics like that I would really like to talk about in other videos on this channel. Sort of getting into politics, but not really, I don't know, not commentary in the traditional way of just like following what's going on in the news cycle, but sort of looking at the bigger picture and, where things are going. And one of the things that really interests me is when I look at politics is just I see, no one's really addressing the issues that I think are on the horizon, and that I want to say that are going to matter to young people. And by young people, I don't just mean like the Zoomers, also the millennials, and basically the people, as we move further and further away from, I don't know, what could be an industrial economy, but, the people are going to be affected by that, relatively younger voters. And I think there's a lot of issues with that, and then also with all the new technology we have, and a lot of things going on, but not a lot of people in the political scene are really addressing them. And the way they do address them is very much like applying old rules to that system. And I think that's going to be something that breaks eventually. And, hopefully the person who captures that narrative and, the first person who really talks about all this stuff is going to set the narrative, essentially, and set the rules of the battle. So hopefully that's the right person to do that, and hopefully it's done preemptively and we don't wait till everything comes crashing down. But, okay, so I covered two things. I kind of covered updates with the channel and some of these extra thoughts I like to talk about. And you can see I'm doing this video in my bedroom. I don't like the angle as much here, but I don't know, I just kind of set it up, and I don't have too much time to think about getting something good set up. I have my bookcase back here, and as you can see, some books are just kind of like sitting here. I've got so much on this little bookcase that it's actually filled up, and some of these are like DVDs that I really don't watch, that I've had for just really a decade at this point, and I've got to sell. And yeah, so anyways, that's about all for this video, and hopefully in a week or so I'll do another.